delighted to have this opportunity to talk to everybody. Murtaza had defined a rather specific topic. I will take this prerogative to expand that a little bit because that is not really my domain of expertise, and I would like to speak more at a system level. This COVID crisis basically caught almost all of the universities of the world flat-footed in terms of the response. There had been varying level of capacity that had been built in the universities as far as the ability to provide digital and online learning is concerned. But it is one thing to offer 5, 10 courses or 10% of the courses, etc. And it's another thing to take your entire university, every single program, and to turn it one day to the next, to be able to offer it to a remote location. And then, as is the case, was the case with our university, the students were dispersed, the faculty was dispersed, and the people who run the university, the IT team itself, was dispersed. So you had every single piece of the puzzle in a different location. But technology makes it possible for us to meet. And that is visible in this particular format, where we have 8 different countries, many different regions of Pakistan, all represented and all together. But we also see what can go wrong. In the video that was being played in the beginning, some of the sound was mismatched, some of the sound was very low, some of the pictures were from one angle. And you start realizing that it is these matters, they are basically like the basis. You cannot have good online communication, and you cannot have a classroom if you are not going to get the basics right. Otherwise, the student experience will all be about, I couldn't hear them, the light was coming in at the wrong angle, or the view was cluttered, or whatever the case may be. So getting technology right is of critical importance. But then the other thing is that just like it is, I would say, a blessing of COVID that we have like this kind of an opportunity where you're having an online forum for learning. And you can have experts from all different parts of the world, and they are sharing their experiences with you. And such an opportunity existed before, but we never pushed it. The other thing that I would give credit to COVID for was that it demonstrated that our ability to change is actually much more than what we appear to be. So my own university here, we're a very small institution, and we had set up the department of or a unit of digital and distance learning, and I will talk about why I'm calling it a digital and distance learning. And we had been going about it, Moodle had been set up and everything like that, and faculty were going one little bit at a time at it. And then when this thing happened, and we said, okay, now from 2 weeks from now, we are going to switch to online learning, the entire university had to switch, every single class, and we had to figure out what to do with labs, something that we're still struggling with. But we were able to change, and we were able to change all together, and we were able to change very fast. One of the key reasons, as I said before, that is important is the technological basis. So having the right tools, we're using Zoom over here, you may be using Microsoft Teams or any number of different software, making sure that the connectivity is correct, making sure that the sound is correct, because what you learn very quickly is sound is more important than video. It is the sound that makes or breaks an online session is there. But then as soon as you've got these basics right, you start learning that online learning is actually much about creating like a movie, and the faculty member becomes the director of a movie, because you are literally shooting a scene. You want to get a message across. In what way is that going to be effective? And now you suddenly realize you have a lot more tools at your disposal. I could have in my background movies playing. I could have different kinds of sounds coming in. I could have simulations popping up. It is also possible, you realize, well, how about exams that are going to take place? And you realize, well, at least in mathematically based subjects, you can actually have a random number generator, and you can have different numbers assigned to people, and you can have different equations that are popping up. So everybody can have a different exam, and you can have the computer grading it. So what it means is that there are many more opportunities. What it also means is that learning in an environment, in an online environment, is not equal to putting a camera in a classroom. That it is not. That was something we did 30 years ago. Today, it is far more advanced. It is far more effective understanding and effectively communication of the medium of the information is different. Now, what I am interested in always is not to get it right one time. How does one create the system? What are going to be the quality assurance mechanisms so that every class is delivered well, so that every teacher does a good job, so that every assignment is delivered well, and you are not talking about one semester, one class, one time wonder, but you actually have an institution in which these things are happening well. And then the holy grail that they keep on improving. So what is the framework? What are the basic units that we need to have in the institution? Well, one of the things, of course, that one needs is a very strong IT team. At least in Pakistan now, there should be no shortage of very highly qualified IT personnel that are available to you. There is enough output of professionals, so that is there, and you have to understand here that without high quality IT connectivity and an IT network and proper software, you're not going to get what you want. So that's one of the basics. The other one is that we are talking about, as I said, delivering effective online learning is now you are the director of a movie. So how are we going to convert these faculty members into directors now? And then they not only are the directors, they also star in their own movies. So they become the actors also. That is going to require lots of learning, a change of mindset, a change of understanding what different perspectives are, and what is effective in this medium and what is not effective. So effective communication in an online environment is a subject by itself for which there is a significant amount of learning that is required. And within a university, there needs to be a unit, an institute, or somebody that is in charge of that. We were used to previously focusing on pedagogy. Now, the first thing that we had done, of course, was you hired the people with the expert knowledge. So you're teaching plant genetics, well, you are hiring the best plant genetics expert that you can find. Then comes the question of pedagogy. The person needs to have the ability to communicate. Now, that is in person or online. But when you change the environment from an offline environment, in-person classroom environment, to an online environment, you need different kind of training. And they need the support mechanisms. You need to have your cameras there. You need to film them. You need to show them how they are doing. And then you need to introduce them to all possibilities of tools, technologies that are available that can vastly improve the quality of delivery of material that they have. And therefore, something like a center for teaching and learning is important, that has also a very close alignment with technology. If you create silos so that the IT department doesn't talk to this center, you will not achieve that, because the two are going hand in hand. The tools are developing, the softwares are improving, technology is improving, hardware is improving. All of them are going to combine, create you, help you create the right kind of an online environment. Now, we have talked about quality, but there needs to be a very specific quality assurance task that is the responsibility of some independent unit. The quality assurance unit is going to be making sure that, first of all, you start with clarity about what is it that you're trying to achieve. Effective teaching, trying to deliver certain material, what is it? From that, your curriculum is defined in the appropriate manner, and its delivery system is defined in the appropriate manner, and its assessment system is defined in the appropriate manner. And then it's a question of monitoring all of these and keeping the data to make sure whether the students are learning there or not, and then there is an effective mechanism for getting feedback from the students, getting feedback from the faculty. How does it feel to be in this new environment with the students distributed? Okay, and then the goal is not, and I repeat, the goal is not a replication of an in-class environment. An online environment is so much more. I can have my students now collaborate with a colleague in Bangladesh, for example, and they can use the supercomputing in Ohio to do their possible simulations. The kinds of collaborations, the projects, they could be working with Cisco Systems, they could be working with a new biotech lab set somewhere in Oman for what anybody cares. So the kinds of collaborations and environments that are possible now, the kinds of videos that you can play to assist. So rather than talk about quantum spin dynamics, why not show them a video developed by Stanford University that is showing you dancing molecules there, and it's getting the message across. You have your ability to integrate materials into this mechanism of delivery that can create a spellbinding and a truly phenomenal learning experience. And it's a question of focusing on always learning. What is the student learning, and what is my methodology of delivery to the student? And how can I keep my finger on the pulse? That's the quality assurance system. Your finger on the pulse. Is the student learning? Is the material getting across? Is the quality right? Is the way I am talking about it right? And in this iterative process, improvements will take place. Now, from an institutional perspective, your systems of defining what the new online class will be, what it will contain, going through peer review processes, testing out the technologies, all those processes, they need to be well defined. The student is not the guinea pig here. You're not the student here. Yes, you can experiment on different items. You're trying new things with them, but you need to deliver a final and a polished product. It's the university processes and systems that are helping you define that polishing product here. The university systems are helping faculty to teach in this new environment. They're assisting them with solving all the various problems that they may be coming across. They are assisting them with finding the material that will support the kinds of learning that they wish to deliver. And finally, they are then making sure that there is continuous assessment of what is going on and there is continuous monitoring of the quality of delivery. So in a nutshell, we are not talking about one-shot wonders here. We're talking about the universities that have to change now. This change is also not a one-time change. A virus has entered into our system, as Dr. Mukhtar will tell you, it stays. Now it is a part of our life. We learn to live with it. But even when we develop the vaccine, what it has done for us is that it has opened up the world of technology for us. And so now we can ask the question, is an in-class learning experience the best way? How can I improve the in-class learning experience? What else can I bring to the table? How can I, make these lectures available? And maybe I even flip the classroom. So I say, okay, now here are all the lectures, and I will turn it upside down, and the classroom becomes a discussion session. And it becomes a learning session where you, let's say, pose problems to which you even don't know what the answers are. And you say, I will work through with the tools that I have in problem solving, and we will go about it collaboratively, looking to address whether we can learn this new material together. So many, many different opportunities, many possibilities of force multiplication, many possibilities of reiteration of the materials, many possibilities of, like a camera where you're looking at material in one way, you have different viewpoints that are available. There is no shortage of space on the net for new types of material that are going to be there. And then you can have all kinds of collaborations all across the world for people teaching similar subjects or one particular topic. So you say, chromatography, I am going to combine with this university in Khartoum, and we are going to be looking at this in a combined way. We are not looking to celebrate gadgets here. We are not looking to be a showcase for technology. We have only one goal in mind, and that goal is that we want to provide the maximum flexibility for the student to learn. One final thing that I would say is that being in an institution of higher learning is certainly one goal, but the real goal has to be to instill what Dr. Atta calls the love of learning, or to have the bug of learning bite them. You are teaching people how to learn for the rest of their life. Every moment in their life, something new has to be happening, and they have got to be improving themselves, learning new skills. This technological system provides us this opportunity, because now in an online learning environment, the onus is much more on the student. In a classroom, they come, they learn, and they go away. In an online system, they have to have that initiative, because they have to, first of all, turn the computer on. They're going to turn the computer on, they're going to look for that material, they're going to study it, they're going to monitor their own time, then they're going to look at all the different material. So it is changing matters. And in that way, it is great, because now the students figure out, well, how about if I take this course, why don't I go on to Coursera and I take, the next AI course that is being offered from Carnegie Mellon over there. And they start getting that confidence in themselves. I have that ability to learn. And it is our responsibility as educators is to give them that confidence that you learn how to learn. any person in the world who knows how to learn is basically, then the sky is the limit as to what they can be achieving. So all of this, I would say, are the advantages that have come with COVID, forcing us into the world of technology, forcing us to look at how we could be making the lives of our students so much more exciting, so much simpler, so much better, so that those who don't want to wake up in the morning don't wake up in the morning, take the lecture. We are interested in your learning and here. And there is a huge possibility of using so many different tools to assist that. I think I will stop there, and if there are any questions, then I'm happy to respond.
Professor Naqvi, thank you very much. As always, a very insightful lecture. So, I just would like to take a couple of minutes to recognize our honorable colleagues, Vice Chancellor, as well as senior academic leader. We have Ms. Sanam Gunnar, Assistant Director, Halling Center for International Dialogue with us today. We have Professor Dr. Satya Prasad Majumdar, Vice Chancellor, Bangladesh University of Engineering and Technology. We have with us Professor Dr. Akhtar Baloch, Vice Chancellor, Benazir Bhutto Shaheed University, Lyari, Karachi, Pakistan. We have Professor Dr. Umar Jah, Acting Vice Chancellor, IUT, Bangladesh. We have Mr. Nadeem Akbar, Director, American Institute of Pakistan Studies with us. We have Professor Dr. Razia Sultana, Shaheed Benazir Bhutto Women University, Peshawar with us. And we have Professor Dr. Shafi Sharifi, VCCA, Kabul University, Afghanistan. And of course, the Vice Chancellor, Islamabad University, Bahawalpur, he is still with us. Thank you very much, sir.